Alrighty then. We are Successful Indie Author, 5-Minute Focus, episode 848, Groovy Language. All right, groovy language kind of dates your material. But that being said, it's okay. It's okay if it's understandable. The most important thing with your manuscript is that it's understandable. And so no matter who reads it, they understand it, they get it. Remember Caveman with Ringo Starr and Barbara Bach? Well, you learned a whole new language during that movie. They taught you a little bit, one word at a time. And that was cool. What a great movie. And it's also, they met and then eventually got married. So good movie all the way around. All right. Charisma, or is it just Rizz? What's the cool word? What's the cool word today? And will it be a cool word tomorrow? The dating your manuscript thing is important because you don't necessarily want to do that. Even if it's contemporary fiction, talking about today's society, you go with what you know and how it's described, but just make sure everybody understands and that a future generation will get it too. Especially if it's out of context. If you just throw Rizz as like a single word in a sentence, people will have no idea what that means. Got to hit it. Got to let them know. Who's your target audience? How hard we work to appeal. Yeah, very nice, very smooth language. How hard will you work to appeal to people who aren't reading your stuff? So when you have interaction, contemporary fiction that you're writing for a mature audience, like 30s, 40s, 50s kind of age group, but you throw in that a lot of young language, like what teenagers would use, at what point will your readers stop reading? Do not give them a reason to stop reading. Now, 10 years, 20 years from now, will those people be your target audience? And more importantly, will you care 20 years from now that they're reading back and saying, hey, that was groovy language 20 years ago. It's hip now. I don't know. All I know is we sell books today. And if you're going to sell books today, make sure you appeal to the audience today, especially your target audience. If your target audience is older, don't bore the snot out of them with the wild gyrations of today's youth, or throw them so many loops that they just can't follow. Make sure people can read and follow your story. Even if you have highly technical stuff in there, it's all the same. Highly technical, your hard sci-fi readers are going to love that, but don't put so much in that you take it out of that balance. And this is what Andy Ware gets right and does so well. He balances the technical aspects and the math and the science with your average reader, somebody who doesn't necessarily embrace that or want to go digging into Google on the more explicit terms for finding modes and modalities and crazy things that mathematicians and scientists love. Same thing for youth language. How much of it are you going to throw in where it's almost like they're speaking a different language? So if you have aliens, how much are you going to do whole paragraphs of made up words? No, because people are just going to skip over that. Don't put stuff that they're going to skip in there. So yeet the grok, bro. Throw that stuff out. Make sure people understand. Or when you're writing it, if you even have just little things, get some punk ass kid to review it for you, just to make sure that you're not off balance, off script. And for those punk ass kids, make sure you can trust them. They might say, yeah, that's right. And you're actually saying bone the unicorn. And you don't want to say bone the unicorn. You want to say go to the store. They're two wildly different things. So there you are. Make sure your audience understands it no matter what age they are, and that you're not overwhelming people with made-up words and other language that just doesn't make sense. It gives the reader a reason to stop reading. Never give the reader a reason to stop reading because they may not come back. That's the most important safety tip out of all of this. Peace, fellow humans. Crazy, out of control. I can't find it. Hang on.